still have a job?
Yes, I do.
If there are 250 work days in a year, how many days do you think you either miss part of or all of it because of the brain injury?
Oh boy.
Is it 50 days?
No, not that high. I think I have missed at least 30, I would say at least 30 to 35 part days. And I have already missed probably about 3 weeks in a year, in a given year, because of that, where I just haven't made it in.
Your boss has kept your job even though you threw a stapler at him?
Yes, he has.
And even though you do miss a fair amount of work?
Yeah, not so much anymore. That's where, I mean, that was a bad year. Now it's, in fact, last year he said I had only taken 4 sick days, which I find hard to believe. It seemed like I had more headaches than that, but he said I had taken late days, more or less, he said about 35 times.
Have you found that you've made mistakes at work?
Yes.
What kind of a mistake?
Writing down, the biggest thing is the numbers. Writing down a phone number wrong, transposing vehicle ID numbers, or, when I'm doing changes. The one thing that he does that we both do is I'll make the change and a file does not get put away until he checks it. He's not as much anymore, but anytime there's files on my desk, he will pick it up and say, this is so-and-so, what are you doing with it? Why is it on your desk? Or he'll pick up, we've got a certain place for outgoing mail. He'll go through, shuffle it, and hold up an envelope and say, what are you mailing them and why? He still does that.
How many people are in your office?
There's only 4 of us. It's small.
If your boss went out of business or couldn't afford to keep you anymore, would you be able to go into an agency with 15 or 20 people working in it?
I think I could, but I'm spoiled now because my boss has been so understanding about everything and has made modifications. I think I would have a hard time doing any other position as far as telling them I need this help, and I think if I was interviewing and say it during an interview, I don't think I'd get hired because they'd almost be afraid, like, what are you setting me up for? Or, possible E&O liability problems and that type of things.
You're licensed, correct?
Yes.
Have you had, do you have to take recertification or just continuing education?
Continuing ed.
And that doesn't require you to take any tests or anything?
No.
Do you have trouble learning the new parts of your job?
Well, we had taken on a different company that they had just taken it on 4 months ago. Before they let us have a contract, they had us just look at their programs and quote a lot of people. I had a hard time learning their whole process. I had a hard time learning who qualified and who didn't, so I would put a lot of information in and then it would come back and reject it. I'd be like, what the heck? And I had a hard time finding their manuals online, trying to find the reason why it was rejected, although my boss had the same problem because a few times I would, like, what on earth, why are they not taking this? And he wouldn't know either. And he had a hard time even finding the information. He actually broke a laptop over it, so it's not. You want to talk
So I
about
guess your
anger
boss
issues? Yeah.
understands even though he hasn't had a brain injury.
Right. Sometimes. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you spend enough time close enough to someone with a brain injury, you do start to understand.
Yes.